Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for joining this session. We are going to have a wonderful training next. That is the training of Chief Judge. The name is very robust. The Chief of the Judges. There are two important roles. One is contest chair and one is Chief Judge. Contest chair role is relevant with the contestant, and Chief Judge role is relevant with the judges. So today we have Toastmaster Imran Anna for this session, and I would like to invite MOC Tahreem to kindly move forward for this session.
Thank you so much, DTM Azam Ali. Now it's time to welcome our second esteemed trainer, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Toastmaster Imran Rana, a proud Toastmaster since 2016. With a rich experience in leadership and judging, he had the privilege of serving as a judge and chief judge in multiple districts, including District 122, District 74, and District 20. At the club level, he have held almost every executive committee position, while at the district level, he has served as area director and admin manager. Currently, he is excited to be serving as the gamification chair. Let's welcome Toastmaster Imran Rana. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Tahrim. I'm sure I'm audible and visible, and my screen is also visible.
Yes, sir, you are audible and visible.
Okay, that's great. That's wonderful. First of all, I would like to thank DTM Azam for giving me this wonderful opportunity. You received a phone call from your fellow member, and he or she asked you to become the chief judge. When you heard the word chief judge, it looks so fancy to your ears and so amazing to your ears, and you feel VIP. But it's not like that. It's not the bed of roses, let me tell you. So, you have been asked to be the chief judge. Then, my question to all of you, why do you want to be a chief judge? Or why it is important to have an amazing team of judges so that they can give you a good result? Can anyone answer this? Or if not, let's dive into the training session and then you will get the answers by yourself. So basically, the chief judge role, I've divided this role into different parts. That is, before the contest, responsibility of a chief judge before the contest, during the contest, how to manage the protest, and finally, if you have any question answers, I would love to answer them. Before serving as a chief judge, you need to be a paid member, like other role players. Chief judge needs to be a paid member, and if it's an experienced one, then it's more like an icing on the cake. So it's quite difficulty for newbies when they are serving as a chief judge. They struggle to perform the chief judge role. So it's a very nice step by DTM Azam to conduct the chief judge training. So now you have been asked to serve as a chief judge. Before the contest, what a chief judge requires? Judge require a team of judges. Uh, there will be different number of requirements at different level of at different level of contest. Like when you're serving as a chief judge at club level, then you need 5 voting judge and a tiebreaker judge, unless it is impracticable. When you're serving as a chief judge at the area level contest, then you must know that, just a minute, that all the that you must be there must be an equal number of voting judges from each club in the area, or minimum of 5 voting judges and a tiebreaker. When you're serving as a chief judge at division level, At division contest, there must be an equal number of voting judges from each area in the division, or minimum of 7 voting judges. In addition to these voting judges, a contest chair, chief judge, tie-breaking judge, the chief judge, voting judges, and the tie-breaking judges must not be a member of any club in which a contestant is a member. So the chief judge needs to make sure that if he is selecting or if he's asking any member to become a chief judge, make sure that he is not from the contestant club. At district contest, there must be an equal number of voting judges from each division in the district, or a minimum of 7 voting judges, along with the tiebreaker judge. Make sure that the chief judge, voting judges, or tie-breaking judges must not be a member of any club in which a contestant is a member. So these are the number of requirements of judges at different level of contest, and that important rule that if a member is competing, then the judge should not be a member of that club at area division, at division and district level. Now we have the judges, we have the timers, and we have the telecounters. So what you need to is to ask your judges to fill the judges certification of eligibility. That is item number 1170. Then there is also a timer record sheet, item 1175 for timers, counters tally sheet, item 1176, ballot counters. Okay, you have to arrange it and you have to circulate it to these role players. Okay, before the contest, the chief judge is responsible to brief the judges. Briefing is very important even for a seasoned judge, because I remember I was asked to be I was part of the team who is responsible for the arrangement of judges. So there was a senior chief judge, and I asked that judge that the briefing is very necessary. But he just said that there's no need. And what happened? One of the judge made a mistake, and and I told that chief judge, I said so. So it is very necessary for the chief judge that he should brief the judges. Although if there are senior judges, then that briefing is very, very important, very necessary, because it is one of the main important responsibility of the chief judge. So the briefing could be in any form. You may write a content for them and share with them and ask them to please go through it. Or there are amazing videos on YouTube. You can share those videos as well for so that your team of judges can prepare themselves before the contest. Okay, so these are the forms which, like the judges certification of eligibility, then there is the timer record sheet, and finally the counters. Okay, let me tell you one thing, that chief judge is responsible to brief the timer and the tally counters, and also chief judge is also responsible to act as a chief tally counter so that they can tabulate the results. This is the timing sheet. So once you are handing over this sheet, you can briefly explain the timers. There will be 2 timers required for timing, and there will be 2 tally counters required, ballot counters required for ballot counting. And number of ballot counters increases at division and district level, maybe 3 or maximum 3. Okay, so you have arranged the team of judges. Then what you have to do is to assign one of the member as a tie-breaking judge. And this tie-breaking judge should remain hidden from the judges team as well. Okay, so the identifier of the tie-breaking judge is secret and known only to the chief judge. The tie-breaking judge does not attend the judge's briefing. So the tie-breaking, you are not allowed to request the tie-breaking judge to attend the briefing. The tie-breaking judge does not participate in the proceeding of the protest. Please make sure when there is a protest, then make sure that your voting judges will be there. Tie-breaking judge is not allowed to attend that proceeding. Tiebreaker judge receive the tie-breaking judge's ballot. Okay, so the tie-breaking judge's ballot is little different from the voting judge's ballot. Voting judge's ballot has only 3 positions to fill, whereas tie-breaking judge has has to fill all the positions. Means if there are more than 3 contestants competing, then the tiebreaker judge has to position all the contestants irrespective of timing. They don't have to observe the timing because it's not the case. It's not the responsibility of the judges to note down the timing. The judge's responsibility is to judge the speech. Okay, so who will receive the tie-breaking ballot? Only the chief judge. The voting judge's ballot will be received by the ballot counters, whereas CJ personally received the tie-breaking ballot at the same time when voting judges are submitting their ballots. Okay. Okay, once the contest is done, once the last speaker has delivered his or her speech, then the chief judge will ask the timer to submit the timing sheet. Once all the ballots received by the ballot counter, the CJ act as a chief tally counter. What the CJ will do, the CJ will escort all the ballot counters to a different room where they will tabulate the results. Okay, this is a sample of judge's ballot, official ballot. So there should be a signature of the judge and the name of the judge and the positions given by the judge. So mostly it is requested to have this ballot. If it's not, then there are other ways to receive the ballot as well, but it is suggested to have that ballot, right? Means sometimes we just WhatsApp the result, but try to have to screenshot that the lower part of this ballot. Okay, so now the chief judge is tabulating the score, and it discovered that there is a tie between the 2 speakers. So in that case, the chief judge will brought in the tiebreaker ballot and break the tie. Once the results have been tabulated and verified, the notification of contest winners from item 1182 will be completed by the chief judge with the ranking of all contestants and submitted to the contest chair. Once the tie is broken, then there are 2 forms that needs to be submitted by the chief judge. The first one is 1182 and the second one is 1168. So how do these forms look like? Let me share my screen. So this is 1168. This is the result form. The chief judge will be responsible to complete this whole form. And if there is a time disqualification, the chief judge has to mark it either yes or no, and then write down the positions in a descending order, like third position, then the second position, and finally the first position. The second form is 1182. Since the contest will progress to words to the area level, then division level, and finally the district level. This form needs to be uh, submitted by the chief judge to the contest chair, and the contest chair will forward this form to next level. That is, if let's suppose if in a contest, if 10 contestants are competing, and let's suppose if that area has three clubs in the contest, and somehow first and second winners are not able to attend the area contest, then the third and the fourth one will be moved to the next level, and this form will help out who are the top 10 winners. Means if first above if the top two are not present, then the top third and fourth will move towards the next level. If let's suppose first, second, third, fourth are not available, then the next uh, position will move towards the next round. And finally, okay, now the results have been finalized by the chief judge. What chief judge will do, all ballots and the tally sheets will be kept by the chief judge until after the winners have been announced. Okay, so let's suppose, okay, if there is a protest lodged by the contestant or a chief judge. So basically, the contestant will lodge the protest to the contest chair, and the judges lodge their protest to chief judge. Okay, so the protest can be on the eligibility, originality, and reference to another contestant's speech, and must only be lodged by the voting judges and or contestants. Any protest must be lodged with the chief judge or contest chair prior to the contest being adjourned. So the protest should be lodged before the contest is adjourned. Okay, so how are we going to manage the proceeding of the contest? So now there's one contestant who has lodged the protest on Toastmaster Imran Rana's speech, and the protest is that contestant thinks that Toastmaster Imran Rana's speech is copied and is more than 25%. So I will the person who lodged the protest, I will inform the judges team first that there is a protest. So we'll all have to stick together. Once the protest proceedings are completed, then you are allowed to uh, leave the contest. So make sure your judges will remain there till the adjourn of the contest, so that you don't face any difficulty while while facing the protest. So what happens once all the judges are present? Then the person who lodged the protest will be called in front of the judges. Okay, what happened? The person who lodged the protest will tell us the whole story about the protest. The judges will ask the question, and then there will be a voting procedure. So okay, the whole in this whole procedure, the chief judge is not allowed to interfere in anything. Means the chief judge is not allowed to make his own decisions. The voting judges has the right to vote, and if the maximum votes are against the protest, this means that the either the speaker will be disqualified or qualified, or uh, uh, either the protest will be accepted, or otherwise the protest will be null and void, and the speaker will be either considered as qualified or disqualified. So this is all about the chief judge responsibilities. And there's one important note which I would like to mention as a chief judge, that Along with the contest chair, the chief judge also check the eligibility of a contestants at every level. Means by asking the contest chair to share the eligibility forms of the contest of the contestants, by asking the club president, by asking the area director, and even chief judge can ask the division director to look for the eligibility of a contestants, because it's one of the main important point. Like sometimes we have seen that uh, the club is not in good standing, but somehow it is assumed that the club was in good standing, and in the end it discovered that the club wasn't in good standing. So the eligibility can be checked by the chief judge as well. This is all about the chief judge responsibility. I'm available for Q&A.
Could you explain a little bit about the uh, tie-breaking judge sheet?
Sorry, come again. Tie breaking.
Tie-breaking, how to break the tie?
Sorry, could you please repeat your question?
How to break the tie in case there is a tie? How the chief judge can break the tie?
Okay, so if there is a tie between the two speakers, then the chief judge will look into the tie breaking judge. Let's suppose there is a speaker A and B, and there's a tie between A and B. And then the chief judge will look into the tie breaking ballot. If the tiebreaker has given the top position to B over A, then it means B is the winner and A is the runner-up. Or it could be like if there is a tie between A and B, A, B, and C. Sorry, if there is a tie between A, B, and there is another speaker C. Let's suppose A and B have equal score of 5 marks. C has third marks. So the tie is between A and B. Now I have to see the tie breaking ballot. Let's suppose if the tie breaking judge considered C on the top, B on the second, and A on third position. So the tie was between A and B. So I look, B is over, B has more score or on the top position over A, then this means that B is on first place and A is on second place.
Thank you very much.
So Toastmaster Hina has raised her hand. Yes, Toastmaster Hina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran. I just wanted to ask and maybe add in here that when we're breaking the tie, at that point in time, what any chief judge needs to understand is when they're marking their ballots or having their tally counters mark their ballot, the tiebreakers results remain with the chief judge.
Yes.
He only looks at those, if I'm correct, right?
Yes.
So this is important for any chief judge candidate to hold that back. That only comes out to be considered to break the tie, and
Yes.
it's not considered in the count otherwise. So if there's no tie, we don't consider that in the count. Yeah. Thank you.
Exactly. Tiebreakers ballot means if there is a tie, then you have to bring the tiebreaker ballot. Otherwise, there is no need. So I've shown the result form. So there was no, there's nothing mentioned about the disqualification about the originality, only the disqualification on timing.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. That's right. That's what I was trying to say. So, in Toastmasters, for all present here, in these proceedings, there is no naming and shaming. It's enough for any contestant to know that they have been disqualified because of an originality protest. And that's why it's most important. All contest chairs and indeed VP educations of clubs to make sure that their members understand about this rule very clearly, that any kind of plagiarism or copying or lifting things is not welcome or tolerated in Toastmasters. It's enough that they are sort of come in front of all of the judges and the chief judge, and that then they are informed. So this announcement is not made.
Okay, so we have two raise hands from DTM Talha and DTM Irfan Faruqi. First, so DTM Talha first. First, you go with your question.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Imran. I just wanted to make sure, or maybe just ask either one of you to briefly cover the other possible disqualifications as well. One is leaving the speaking area, and one is mentioning another contestant or their speech. If I'm correct, both are disqualificationable offenses. So if you could cover those, if already covered, then absolutely fine.
Okay,
So,
could yes, Toastmaster Hina, you go.
sure. So when I was explaining about this, I did mention briefly, but just to clarify again, in terms of disqualification, and I agree, I did not mention this, as I had said to uh, present here, that the speaking area has to be shown to contestants and also announced when we start the contest so that the audience knows. Now, if a contestant steps out of the speaking area, and that is it's usually marked on a stage that there are limits on your left and right, you have to remain within that, and possibly in front of you as well, you cannot step over that are possible grounds that becomes grounds for disqualification also. And in terms of if it's a video contest, usually your screen is your speaking area. So when you're briefing your contestants, know that they should be placed in such a way that a good part of their body can be seen if their speech includes a lot of hand gestures and movements. So they must not step out of the screen on the left or the right. And if they do, those could be grounds for disqualification. Over to you if you'd like to add something, Toastmaster Imran.
No, Toastmaster Hina, you have covered everything. I have to look into that that the speaking area, because I remember one of the training, and I asked this question from the judges. They said that they did not disqualify for if a speaker uh, is not within that speaking area. So I have to look into that again from
Actually, and if I could add to that, I'll look into this as well. If it's not disqualification, but definitely what does happen is that the speaker can get marked down by the judges, especially if it's an on-screen online contest, because if a speaker goes out of this, screen range, that affects the quality of the delivery and, the experience of the audience while listening to and observing the speech. So for that, judges would usually, in terms of delivery possibly mark down a contestants. But yes, you may be right. I'm not sure that it's grounds for disqualification now. But we can look into this and get
Yes,
back.
yes, we can. We can. So, DTM Irfan Faruqi, your question, please.
First of all, I just wanted to say that Toastmaster Hina Ali has said the final comment from her is a valid comment. I also believe that if a contestant moves out of the speaking range, he is not disqualified. He or she gets low points, and based upon that, she may not be a winner. But this is probably not a valid cause of disqualification. My question was that suppose there is an area level contest, the chief judge will submit the result to the contest chair, and contest chair will probably submit the result to the area director. Is area director required the result to be submitted to any further level, or it is enough that the area director keeps it with him or herself?
So,
Okay. Can I answer this question?
sure. I did mention that.
Yes, as I've shown two results form, right? So the first one was the top three, and the second one was the overall positions of all the contestants. And these are very important forms, and these forms needs to be submitted to the next level, to the contest chair and the contest chair or the area director both, and they are responsible to submit that result to the next level because uh, why 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 it is required? Because if your top three are not available, then if you did not submit the second form in which it has all the positions, then it would be quite difficult for the division director or at the division contest who will go for the next uh, replacement instead of the first or second place. Yes, Toastmaster Hina, if you want to add it.
Yes, I absolutely agree with the Toastmaster Imran. He did explain this. And I also did mention this, that these results, each contest chair's responsibility is to ensure that these are then properly handed over to or have been transmitted to the next higher level. So from club to the division level, from division to the so club to area, area to division, division to district. And then if it's at inshallah, when we are at that point at district, district will be sharing it with Toastmasters International for for their placements as well.
Yes. I just would like to add the importance of the chief judge role is that sometimes what happens that contest chair mostly rely on the chief judge. So the chief judge should responsible to cover all the rules or know how about the rules so that if there is a situation uh, because in every situation the contest chair asks the chief judge, yes, chief judge, what is your opinion or what do you have to say? So chief judge should have the knowledge of all the rules so that he could tackle the situation at that time.
Indeed, this is a very good point that you've made. And this happens more so here. When I was just going over the latest rule book, what I found is the contest chair is really running this thing, and he or she must make sure that the chief judge is a person who knows all the rules. So they have to know the rules as well. If they require some kind of training, somebody who wants to aspire to be a chief judge, they need to get trained. And this is why today's training was so. As we go into our contest season, we should make sure people who'd like to be chief judges make themselves aware. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Emmanuel.
So both the roles are very important because contestants work really very hard to deliver their best speeches. If the judges are not properly trained, if the chief judge is unable to train the judges properly, then you won't get that results. You always have that question mark on that result. So better to avoid that. Your chief judge and your judges should have to be prepared very well for the contest.
Thank you
I
so much. Okay, continue.
sorry, I just wanted to give one humble suggestion to our PQD. This was a very good session that we've had today for contest chair and chief judge. I believe it would also be very useful to have a similar session for any members of our who would like to be voting judges, because as per the rules, any member who is a paid member at the club level can be a voting judge. So if we could garner interest for from all the different clubs across the district and have a session like that, what would happen is we would have had maybe a 30-minute or 1 hour session where we've given a lot of people this training. And then so people who are chief judges, when they have to give their judges briefing, it doesn't have to be an elaborate training by each chief judge. They just have to quote maybe very specific questions of aspiring voting judges or people they've brought in to be voting judges. And as I had also suggested before, a training that I had attended personally involved having this training done, and then a speech had been delivered, and all of the aspiring trainees for the voting judge positions had the ballots and they scored. And then we had a panel of experienced Toastmasters who'd been judges, chief judges, contesters. They also scored, and then they talked about how to actually mark the ballot. So it's just a humble suggestion. If you guys can find the time and people to conduct this, it would be a great service to our district. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Hina Ali and Toastmaster Imran Rana. Now, moving towards the end of the meeting, I would like to call DTM Azam Ali to give closing remarks and a vote of thanks to our esteemed trainers, Toastmaster Hina Ali and Toastmaster Imran Rana. Over to you, sir, DTM Azam Ali.
Thank you very much, MOC. And as I said in the start, uh, that was a wonderful session, learning session. And whenever I think about that, I should contact someone who know about the rules. Very few names used to come in my mind, and Imran Rana and Hina Ali are one of them. And of course, today both prove that how profound knowledge they have about the rules and regulation. And my knowledge is also increased today. And at least one thing I want to share that I was not aware about, that only the timing disqualification should be shared with the audience. Thank you very much for updating this. And as I said, that these trainings are going to be uh, uploaded on the YouTube channel of our district, so that all the members of our district or around the world can get the benefit of these trainings. So thank you very much to you. And I would like to add that the training of the voting judges is already conducted a few weeks back. And that training was conducted by the DTM Sarfraz Nazir and DTM Iram Ghayas. And I think that was also a wonderful training that was around 2 hours training. So that was in very detail, and that training is also available on the YouTube channel of our district. So with that, I would like to say thank you very much to our MOC, Toastmaster Tehreem, for joining us. And I believe that she have all the potential to conduct our future session at any level of the training. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tareem, for joining us today, and Imran Rana, of course, treasure of the knowledge about the Toastmaster. And I think that since the start, since I joined the Toastmaster, actually Imran Rana is also one of the person, my mentors, who drag me to this platform. Thank you very much. And thank you to the Toastmaster Hina Osaf Ali. A very valuable session. Your knowledge level is, I think, beyond the expectation of all of us. Thank you very much for joining us. And with that, I would like to close this session. If anyone wants to say anything, I'm going to stop the record.